Now on WKRG News 5.
Today, police find the car belonging to the woman murdered in Lillian yesterday, but the murder suspect is still at large. An update on the I-10 bridge repairs. The concrete's been poured, but now something else is causing a delay. Plus, police make an arrest after a fatal accident involving a woman on a motorized scooter. And one of the players in tomorrow's big game has bought property in Orange Beach. Find out who, coming up next.
From WKRG News 5, the Gulf Coast news leader. The news starts now.
Good evening, I'm Ashley Knight. Thank you for joining us. First on 5, a car of a murder victim is found in the woods in Beulah. Law enforcement has been looking for the car since yesterday after a woman was found dead in her front yard. But now the man police are looking for, William Boyette, is still on the loose. News 5's Catrice Nolan is live in Escambia County with who law enforcement wants you to look out for.
Ashley, I am standing in the exact spot where the car was found earlier today, and law enforcement has been looking for that car ever since yesterday. It belongs to murder victim 52-year-old Peggy Bras. Now, the car was left in Pensacola, or near Pensacola, I should say. This is a heavily wooded area, nothing but dirt. I-10 is right behind me, so he may have had easy access to the highway. Agencies from Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Baldwin counties are working together to find William Boyette Jr. Representatives from Escambia and Santa Rosa held a news conference earlier today to inform the public on what they should look for to help law enforcement capture Boyette. They told us he is now a suspect in 3 homicides, one happening in Lillian, Alabama, the other 2 at a motel in Milton, Florida. They also told us Boyette is traveling with a woman by the name of Mary Rice. They do not know if the woman is in any danger or if she is an accomplice to the crimes or is just helping Boyette escape. Law enforcement is urging the public to take extra precautions to stay safe, especially women.
What we wanted to do at the Sheriff's Office and with this press conference is let you know that we have a killer. We have a killer that has been in Escambia County at least 2 occasions. He has family in Escambia County. We have every reason to believe that he not only was in Escambia County, but he may well be in Escambia County right now.
Now, this is not Boyette's first run-in with the law. He has an extensive criminal background dating back to 1992. Again, sheriff's deputies are saying if you see Boyette, please make sure you call your nearest law enforcement agency. Do not take the law into your own hands. Reporting in Pensacola, Catrice Nolan, News 5.
Thank you, Catrice. And as Catrice said, this all started Tuesday morning when 2 women were found dead inside a motel room in Milton. On Wednesday, police named Billy Boyette Jr. a person of interest in that case. And sometime Friday, investigators say a car registered to Boyette was found in the Food Tiger parking lot at a Bower Road and Highway 98 near Perdido. That's just about 3 miles away from 52-year-old Peggy Bras' home on Santa Barbara Street in Lillian. Her body was found in her front yard Friday morning with her car missing. An update now on the traffic nightmare on I-10 in downtown Mobile the past few days. Here's a live look now. As you can see, traffic is moving along in one direction, but unfortunately not the other. Well, actually it is moving in both directions right now, but they do have that one lane still closed to traffic right after the Wallace Tunnel as you come into Mobile. But it was a different scene on Thursday when an 18-wheeler carrying coiled steel weighing about 19,000 pounds flipped just after the Wallace Tunnel going westbound. The impact of the crash caused all that damage, creating these holes, and made the bridge unsafe, even creating a hole, and you can see their construction crews working on it. The recent damage to I-10 highlights a frequent problem in Mobile. The Bayway portion of I-10 has consistently been tough for drivers during peak travel times. News 5's Chad Petrie takes a look.
The causeway is one of those few alternate routes between Mobile and Baldwin counties, but even this spot can get backed up when there is a major accident blocking traffic along Interstate 10. Several years ago, I took a look at the history of the Bayway through a series we called I Hate the Bayway. One of the things that we learned was that the Bayway was really only built to handle 20 million vehicles a year, but it gets 23.5 million vehicles. And between the 10-foot wide shoulder and also the extreme car volume, accidents are fairly common. The worst multi-vehicle accident in U.S. history happened along the Bayway a little more than 20 years ago when heavy fog caused a chain reaction accident. And I spoke to one man who survived getting through such an accident.
Well, I think people make it that when they drive the way they drive in this fog and when it's stormy weather or rain. I think the people make it a death trap. I do drive the Bayway, but when it's foggy or rainy or bad weather, I go to Causeway.
There's been talk for years of building an I-10 bridge, but it'll really be a question of funding as to whether or not that ever happens. Reporting in Mobile, Chad Petrie, News 5.
Just 2 weeks ago, an EF3 tornado tore through Hattiesburg. The town is still trying to rebuild, and today, Mobile helped out. At Baker High School, people dropped off donations all day to fill a trailer. People donated food, clothes, and household items for Hattiesburg tornado victims. A truckload of toys was also brought in. One of the organizers of the donation drive was inspired after his last visit to Hattiesburg.
The church, what we dropped off a bunch of new clothing to, said, you know, they wasn't getting the donations. And they had a generator out there trying to keep food warm to feed what they could, and had very little bit of bottled water left.
Jim plans on holding another donation drive next Saturday. It would be the same place and time, Baker High Stadium, from 8 to 4 p.m. An update to a story we brought you last night. An arrest has been made in the fatal crash of a 37-year-old woman attempting to cross at Azalea Road in a motorized wheelchair. 41-year-old Melvin Martin struck the female victim driving a Ford Focus. The accident happened at 6:48 p.m. Friday near the area of Azalea at the entrance of Cabana Apartments just south of Airport Boulevard. Martin has been arrested and charged with driving under the influence combined with substance and possession of marijuana, second degree. A Saraland police officer who was shot in the head while responding to a call is on the mend, and a fundraiser to help pay for her medical bills was held today at Rotolo's. There, folks gathered to eat good food, play games, and there was even entertainment for the kids. Through all of this, they hope to help out the Tuckers, who have become like family for this community.
You know, it's for a good cause. Yeah, Jackie was our friend. You know, she wasn't only our coworker, she was our friend. She was there on calls when we needed her. So it's just our part of giving back. You know, we're all on board. You know, whatever they need, we're here. And when it comes to raising money for her and her family, you know, we want to be involved in any way we can.
There was also a wing eating competition held at 5 o'clock with a prize of $500, which of course went to the Tucker family. Coming up, a tournament that started as a fundraiser for veterans in the community has a much bigger turnout than expected. We'll show you the lacrosse tournament held today at the Battleship.
And it was a nice cool day along the Gulf Coast. Highs reaching into the lower 60s. Tonight, once again, going to be on the chilly side, but pretty soon warmer air will start to work back in. We'll have all those details coming up in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Everybody's mornings are different. But we all need to know one thing. What's going on in our community?
As you're waking up this morning, we have new information from overnight.
Watch News 5 this morning starting at 4:30. Get top stories from
New
overnight.
information you need to know as you head out to work this morning.
Weather to plan your day.
It's a great day to be outside.
Checking out the Bayway for you.
And traffic to see if you need to take the long way. Because no matter what your day looks like, mornings matter.
Ask any Mobilian where they go for great seafood, and chances are they'll say Felix's. Voted #1 by Mobile diners 10 years in a row, serving the freshest seafood, Mobile style. Felix's Fish Camp on the Causeway. It's where the locals go.
You were so right about the prices in there. I'm getting 2 new pairs of glasses.
Without overpaying, like you would most everywhere else.
I know. 2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for just $69.95. That's amazing.
That's America's best. You won't overpay for contact lenses either.
You gotta tell more people about this. I'd be shouting it from the rooftops.
Would you?
It's a metaphor.
Is it? 2 pairs and a free exam for $69.95. It's not just a better deal, it's America's best.
Did you or a loved one work as a cleanup worker during the BP oil spill in 2010? Or were you a Gulf Coast resident? Do you have any of the following conditions? Cancer, leukemia, lymphoma, multiple myeloma, neurological conditions, chronic skin, respiratory or eye conditions, blindness, memory loss, depression, paralysis. You may be entitled to compensation for your injuries and damages through a back-end litigation option lawsuit. For a free consultation, dial 1-888-960-2055, 888-960-2055. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Are you feeling lucky? Join us in February at Palace Casino Resort. Monday through Thursday in February, enjoy our half-price lunch or dinner buffet. Earn 10 points for your half-price lunch buffet or 20 points for a half-price dinner buffet. Friday, February 3rd, 10th, and 17th from 7 to 10 p.m. Don't miss our carnival of hot seats and drawings. Saturday, February 18th, get ready for our Love at First Sight Mercedes giveaway, where you can win a Mercedes or your share of $15,000 in power play. Palace Casino Resort. Let a little luck rub off on you.
Plump, juicy oysters topped with garlic butter and Parmesan cheese and char grilled till they're bubbling. Served with French bread for sopin'. Mmm. Mobile's original flaming oysters, only at the Bluegill.
If the Easter Bunny pooped candy, what candy would he poop?
Penny Tootsie Rolls with the paper off.
Weekdays at 4 on WKRG News 5.
Welcome back. For soldiers in battle, having sunshine and clear skies is key. It means they can see the enemy from a mile away. And that's the sound of a gun being shot on the USS Alabama. Every year, the Living History crew puts on a reenactment to capture what life was like for soldiers in World War II. Activities included drills, exhibitions, tours, and a chance to see the action up close and personal. Tony Watson is the captain of the USS Alabama's Living History crew. He hopes that young people will be inspired to learn more about history.
It's important to remember what they did and how brave they had to be to face an enemy the way they had to face them in that time.
There's enough money.
The popular event takes place every year. If you want to explore the ship on your own, it is open to the public. When you think of the armed forces, this sport might not come to mind, but a Bayside Academy senior partnered with the Mobile Mavericks, a local lacrosse club, to put on a tournament to benefit Veterans Recovery Resources. Landon Johnson says the organization is in the process of building a $2 million residential facility for veterans with PTSD, and that he chose to work with a veterans organization because it was near to his heart.
My dad was a veteran, my grandfather was a veteran. You know, it's just been in my family. It's very near to my heart, and then especially just having the bases so close. I hope that it teaches others that it doesn't matter what age you are, you can make an impact on your city.
To raise the money, Landon teamed up with a local artist to design T-shirts to sell at today's event. He says the turnout was great and hopes to bring it back next year. The Department of Homeland Security is no longer ordering airlines to stop visa holders from countries affected by President Donald Trump's travel ban from flying to the United States. Last night, a federal judge in Washington state ordered a temporary stop to President Trump's executive order. Wendy Gillette reports now from New York.
Some travelers from 7 Muslim-dominated countries can now travel to the United States after a federal court judge in Washington state issued a restraining order on President Trump's executive order that banned their entry.
It is not the loudest voice that prevails in a courtroom. It's the Constitution.
A State Department spokesman says up to 60,000 foreigners whose visas were electronically canceled had that action reversed. But it's unclear what's being done to help those whose visas were physically canceled. The decision by the federal judge appointed by President George W. Bush drew the scorn of the commander-in-chief. Mr. Trump tweeted, "The opinion of the so-called judge, which essentially takes law enforcement away from our country, is ridiculous and will be overturned. When a country is no longer able to say who can and who cannot come in and out, especially for reasons of safety and security, big trouble." But as the affected travelers once again resume flying to international airports, including here to JFK Airport in New York City, it remains unclear how long the judge's order will hold. The Department of Justice says it will seek an emergency stay of the order. Saturday afternoon, protesters marched in Washington, demanding a permanent end to the travel ban. Tens of thousands also packed the streets of London, some carrying signs that read, "Fight ignorance, not immigrants." Wendy Gillette for CBS News, New York.
Now, there's still confusion at some airports. Some airlines are permitting those with now valid visas to board U.S.-bound flights, while others are not. Up next, the Atlanta Falcons place kicker Matt Bryant just sold his house on Ono Island and is moving a few miles south. We'll show you inside the house after the break.
And it was a beautiful sunny day today, but over the coming days, rain might be in the forecast. We'll have a full breakdown coming up in your forecast in just a few minutes.
The Big Game Tailgate is sponsored by Cockrell's Body Shop for all your collision needs.
Family Feud, weekdays at 4 on WKRG News 5.
The IRS announced delayed refunds till February. So how can you get up to $1,300 today? At Jackson Hewitt, you can get an express refund advance, a 0% APR loan. Can't get that online. Visit Jackson Hewitt and you can get up to $1,300 today.
I spend a lot of time with my boys at the ballpark. It's important to me. Family's important to Alpha too. They offer discounts and protection for us today and for our children in the future. I like passing things on to the next generation.
For the best agents in the business, call Alpha.
Some traditions are worth keeping.
The IRS announced delayed refunds till February. So how can you get up to $1,300 today? At Jackson Hewitt, you can get an express refund advance, a 0% APR loan. Can't get that online. Visit Jackson Hewitt and you can get up to $1,300 today.
Don't be without the WKRG News 5 app. Get news, traffic, and weather on your tablet or smartphone. Just go to the App Store or Google Play and type in WKRG.
I do tend to geek out about biscuits. It's really an enjoyable process. Take a carton of buttermilk, pour it in a spiral pattern, start folding in kind of a breaststroke pattern. Fold it into a canoe shape. Lightly flour. Start rolling from the middle out to the sides. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow. Small circle, honeycomb pattern, 8 minutes. We do put the time and effort into it. There's always going to be some imperfection, but you want perfect imperfection. Made from scratch biscuits are better.
The Made from Scratch Pork Chop and Gravy Biscuit, only at Hardee's.
Alice, come on, Alice!
Get to Badcock and stretch your refund with up to 50% off sofas, up to 50% off bedrooms, and up to 50% off mattress sets. Plus, get living room packages with TV starting at just $17.98, bedrooms starting at just $4.98, and 24 months interest-free with no credit refused. Badcock makes great style easy to afford.
The Big Game Tailgate is sponsored by Alpha Insurance. Call the best agents in the business.
All right, you know what that sound is. It's that time of year again, Mardi Gras season on the Gulf Coast, and Mardi Gras fun continued on Dauphin Island today. The city had another parade. The town of Dauphin Island paraded down the streets. It was definitely a gorgeous day out for family fun and a way to stack up on some colorful gear and listen to awesome music as the floats went by.
Now, Thomas Skiboy with your first alert weather.
Well, if you did head down to Dauphin Island earlier, you could not have asked for better weather. Temperatures today nice and comfortable into the lower 60s, but as we do head into tonight, it is going to be on the chilly side. Looking out from the Alpha Insurance Sky Cam, the sun is set, which will allow those temperatures to cool off. But once we got to sunset, we're starting to see more of those clouds move in, and that'll make our weather change slightly. We'll talk about that more in just 1 second. But as for right now, it's currently 52 degrees in Mobile. Fairhope, you're sitting at 48 degrees, so already on the chilly side. Destin, you're still on the mild side, sitting with those temperatures into the upper 50s. Looking at towards the coast, towards our Mobile and Baldwin County, it's currently 55 at Fort Morgan. It's currently 50 degrees in Gulf Shores, and Summerdale, you're sitting at 50 degrees. So let's look at the radar. Things relatively nice and quiet, and that's how it's been throughout much of the last couple of days. But we might start to see a change as we make our way into tomorrow. More on that in just 1 second. But as for the rest of tonight, temperatures falling throughout the 50s throughout the next hour or so. Then temperatures will be falling through the 40s. And we look to bottom out tonight with temperatures more so into the lower and also into the mid 40s. And those clouds will continue to roll in. So let's go ahead and go over our forecast. This is starting in just a couple hours time. We'll continue to see those clouds move in from the northwest. And as we go into tomorrow morning, we're staying nice and dry, but our winds are mainly going to be out of the southeast. That's going to allow some warmer air to move in, also more humid air. And by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon, maybe a few showers across the News 5 area. So we'll go with about a 20% chance for showers. We'll keep the chance for showers all the way throughout your afternoon on your Sunday. Some of these showers will carry over into your Monday morning as well. But as we go from Monday morning into Monday afternoon, the rain gets out of here. Should see a nice return of the sunshine. But by Tuesday, rain chances will be back. So rain chances not going to be overly high, but they will be present over the next 48 hours or so. So your umbrella forecast for tomorrow, about a 20% chance you are going to need an umbrella, so just a good thing to maybe put in the back seat of your car or maybe the trunk of your car. So let's look at tonight's forecast. We'll go with a low of 44 degrees in Mobile. For Dauphin Island, temperatures will be closer to the upper 40s, near 50 degrees. We'll see partly cloudy skies moving over towards Baldwin County. We'll go with a low of 44 in Foley, a low of 47 degrees in Gulf Shores. If you're north of I-10, expect temperatures to be more so into the lower 40s. Pensacola will go with a low of 46 degrees, keeping with those partly cloudy skies. But as we move towards further to the east in the Panhandle, we'll see those skies mostly on the mostly clear sky, and temperatures will be into the mid 40s. So your golf cast for tomorrow, if you're heading out and hitting the links, should be pretty nice, especially first thing in the morning. Should be a little bit warmer than what we had this morning. Temperatures will start off in the upper 40s around 8 o'clock in the morning, and then temperatures climbing to near 70 degrees tomorrow afternoon. We'll just have that slight chance for a shower. And like today, a lot of people took advantage of a beach day. Tomorrow looking to be rather nice as well. Southeast winds at 5 miles per hour. Temperature along our coastal communities anywhere from 62 to 67 degrees. So overall, not looking too bad, especially for the early part of February. So 20% chance for rain for your Sunday, dipping down to 10% for your Monday, a little bit more sunshine. But notice these high temperatures going from the upper 60s tomorrow to the low 70s on Monday, and then to the mid 70s on your Tuesday. Then we start to see a little bit more cool air work in as we move through Thursday and Friday, but overall looking nice over the next 7 days.
Certainly is. Thanks, Thomas. One of the many local connections to the Super Bowl is right here along the Gulf Coast, where an Atlanta Falcons player and his family had a home and have plans to return. You might not have known it, but before Falcons kicker Matt Bryant was kicking game-winning field goals and heading to his first Super Bowl at 41 years of age, he had a massive house on coastal Alabama right on Ono Island, a secluded area where he could relax away from the big city.
They had a beautiful 8,000 square foot house on Ono Island, and they loved it, but they have 7 children, and they wanted a little bit more room.
And that 7-figure home was sold just a couple months ago, but now the Bryant family has plans to come back to the Alabama coast and build a new home. Coming up at 10 tonight, we'll show you more of what their home looked like and where along the Gulf Coast they're planning to build a new one. Up next in sports, so much entertainment going on at this year's big game. We'll tell you who all will be there and why Luke Bryan singing the national anthem is such a big deal. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for up-to-the-minute news 24/7. News 5 at 6 o'clock. We'll be right back.
The Big Game Tailgate is sponsored by Felix's on the Causeway, where the locals go.
Now through Monday only. Stop, look, then shop Rooms to Go and pick from 100 beautiful rooms under $1,000. Don't wait. Furnish your home in your style right now with beautiful living rooms under $1,000, dining rooms under $1,000, bedrooms under $1,000, 100 great rooms under $1,000. And check this out. Finance for $20 or less per month, interest-free. That's now through Monday only at Rooms to Go. Don't miss it.
From the moment you see it, it commands your respect. You can feel its immense power. The only way to master it is to venture inside. Go ahead, dive in. The GMC Sierra. We are professional grade. Step up to GMC and get over $10,000 total value on select specially equipped brand new 2017 Sierra Crew Cab SLT vehicles in stock.
Slowly getting faster. Once I start counting, it's very hot.
Baby, I'm 90% sure the cart's moving.
It is so exciting. I could count forever. Count until I drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I love counting.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2017 Toyota RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
Delicious freshly brewed coffee comes at a price. It's $1.
Go to McDonald's and get $1 any size coffee or $2 small specialty beverage. And every 6th McCafe beverage is free with our app. Wake up and win the day.
Here.
Have my extra hash browns.
How great is this new office, man? It is great.
Enjoy a sausage biscuit, McMuffin, or burrito for just $1.19 at McDonald's.
Celebrate Heart Month and the amazing care given to children who suffer from heart disease at the Pediatric and Congenital Heart Center at Children's of Alabama. Read their incredible stories online at childrensal.org/heart and see how you can get involved.
Now, News 5 Sports.
Well, the entertainment alone at Super Bowl 51 might be worth the price of admission to some folks. Lady Gaga will perform at halftime, and Luke Bryan will sing the national anthem. And Luke Bryan is breaking a 10-year streak here. He's the first male since Billy Joel in 2007 to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. He's performed inside a lot of sold-out NFL stadiums before, but Sunday will be a little different. Wes Moore has the story.
Hunting, fishing, loving every day. That's the prayer that a country boy prays.
Luke Bryan has 17 #1 hit songs. He sold over 27 million singles. He also has numerous Entertainer of the Year awards. But he says Sunday will be a moment he never forgets.
It'll be certainly a highlight of my career and my entertainment life to be able to walk out there and hopefully perform the anthem in the way that I've always dreamed I would do it.
We know Luke likes hunting and fishing, but we also found out he knows a thing or two about football, especially the Atlanta Falcons.
I grew up in Georgia, so I'm definitely got a pull for my Falcons, my Dirty Birds.
Most of Luke's songs last 3 to 4 minutes. The big question this week is how long will the national anthem be? The over-under prop bet for Luke's rendition is 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Luke tells us everyone wants to know some inside information.
I had a buddy of mine call me the other day, and he's like, "Hey man, you going long?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, just say long. Just that's all I need to know. I'm like, it's 8:30 in the morning. I don't know. And he goes, "On the anthem, are you going long?" I'm like, "Oh, come on."
Well, I'm pretty sure people will be singing along either way. Now, to get you ready for Super Bowl 51 between the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots, we've got a special you don't want to miss. It's called the Big Game Tailgate Preview, and it airs in just a few moments at 6:30 right here on WKRG. NASA has released video from the International Space Station. Check out this video of an astronaut throwing a football to mark Sunday's big game, the final game in the United States National Football League season. Now, this ball traveled over 500,600 yards in zero gravity. That's just amazing. NASA says the ball traveled at over 8,800 yards per second. Now, that's pretty cool.
That is really cool. That's something that you don't see every day. And it just looks like, and I appreciate that he got the perfect spiral on it too.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
So even though it looks like it's going slow with how fast the International Space Station is moving, you can understand how it traveled that much ground that quickly.
I'm very impressed. That's awesome. I love that.
Very, very cool.
So also impressive, our weather.
Our weather, just a little chilly tonight. As for tomorrow, temperatures warming back up, and there will be a slight chance for a shower. So don't forget the umbrella tomorrow, but overall looking pretty nice over the next few days.
Good to know. All right, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 10 o'clock.
WKRG aerial footage, sponsored by Green & Phillips.